Welcome, everybody, to the Alliance Group podcast. We are very, very happy to be joined today by Miss Drialys Muñoz. Drialys, one of our very top producers at Alliance Group as an agent. She is with Univista down in the Miami area. And she is just, Drialys, it's so awesome to have you. Thank you so much for flying up from Miami and spending some time with us here in Atlanta.
Thank you for having me. I love to be here. I love the weather.
Oh, yeah, it's very nice.
The people, the family, the Alliance family. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and she was actually able to be part of our Monday morning meeting this morning, so that was cool to have her there. And now we're here to kind of get to know a little bit more about Drialys Muñoz. So this is something we're calling an agent spotlight. It's going to give you all the opportunity to get to know some of our top producers better. This is the very first in a series of these that we're going to do, and we're so happy that you are our first guinea pig here, so to speak.
Thank you.
Awesome. So let's start all the way at the beginning, Drialys. Tell me how you're such an amazing personality. You're so happy and bubbly and positive. How did somebody like you get into the insurance business? How did you fall into this line of work?
It had to be God. It had to be God, because when you're little, you never think that you're going to sell insurance.
Right.
Your dreams are, I wanted to be a singer.
Right.
I wanted to be an actress.
Right.
But you never say, I'm going to be an insurance salesperson.
Right.
First of all, because I had no idea that something like that existed.
Right.
But then, kind of life kind of puts together the path where you need to follow. And I was an air personality for years.
Yeah, you were in radio, right?
I was in radio.
Mm-hmm.
I was pleasing my customers, like putting the songs that they wanted and dedicating it to their wife and husbands. And it was a fun chapter of my life that closed, and then something else came to my life. I was doing medical billings, managing a doctor's office, dealing with patients, dealing with people, with older people, with younger people. But something in common that I always knew about me was that I love to help people. Sometimes I will get out of my way, not expecting to make any money, but just to help that person to get the right insurance, the medical insurance at that time. So when I also closed the other chapter of my life, I said, I want to do a job that don't feel like a job.
Yeah.
I want to do something that I feel passionate about it. I want to feel good to society. I want to go to bed and say, I did something good for humanity. Mm-hmm. And I want to make money.
Well. Not a lot of money in radio. That's one thing.
No, well, it depends. If you do a lot of commercials and if you do national commercials, it was. But at that time it was great. It was my passion. I lived it, but it wasn't my. It wasn't what I wanted. I wanted something to fulfill my whole spirit, something that you feel that you did something really good for others.
And you found that in insurance.
I did. I actually asked God, please direct me to what I wanted to be my life, passion for the rest. I don't want another job, and I don't want it to feel like a job. I want something that feels like I'm getting a bonus. Mm-hmm. I'm actually doing it, but I'm getting a bonus. And I don't feel like I get home and, oh, my God, and it's Monday. No, Mondays are very excited for me, actually. Yeah. And Fridays and Saturdays, it's like you work hard and you feel accomplished that you did something good for others, and that is the best feeling.
So we're going to talk about that in a bit. You do work around the clock. You're always working. You're always on, which is part of the secret recipe for your success. So you started out as in health as a health insurance agent, or were you PNC?
Well, when I started in insurances, well, first when I used to work in the doctor's office, I was actually related with health insurance.
Right.
So, and I also learned about codes and stuff that now I'm using in the life insurance world. But I started with life insurance, just pure life insurance.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
In another company, and it was great. It was different.
Right.
And it was something that, honestly, I said, wow, I found my passion.
What is it? Tell me about that passion, your passion for life insurance specifically. Just talk about that. Talk about what it is that makes you so passionate about what you do for a living.
It's telling people what they have no idea that exists. It's changing people's life. It's helping families. It's hugging someone that is in need. It's receiving a hug from someone that is really appreciated, that got the message from you that they had no idea. People that spend their money in the regular basis in restaurants, buying stuff, and I do too, I'm not going to lie, but they don't know that something so amazing could actually save your marriage, save your mortgage, save the life of your family. When you get sick and you don't have any economical support, your life could be upside down from one day to another. So giving the tranquility, giving that message to the people, it's great.
So you're referring to living benefits, I take it.
I love living benefits. I love living benefits. It's the message that you give to people, especially Spanish people, okay, to everyone, that you don't have to wait until the day you die. That if you have an event in your life that you were not expecting, that change your life, then you can concentrate all your energies in getting cured, in getting better, while everything else still the same. And some people die more of the worries because they have to pay the mortgage and they have to pay them. They have to buy the groceries and they get sick. And I see the way their life had turned around, and it's difficult to see these people. And every time I pass by someone and I don't tell them what I do, I feel guilty.
Yeah.
I could have helped a family. I could have protected marriage. When someone gets sick and then the husband can't, pay the mortgage and they can't do the groceries and he has to go and receive chemos, and it's so bad.
It puts a lot of extra pressure on that family. That's, what you're describing, that phenomenon of once you're in living benefits and you're an agent and you're trying to talk to people about living benefits, every time you see someone that you know, or even a friend of a friend that you know that suffers an illness, there's this guilt.
Yes.
That, you're obviously sad for all the reasons that you should be sad that something bad has happened to somebody, but there's also this guilt that I could have helped them.
I had the message.
Right.
Why didn't I tell them?
Yep.
If you understand that this amazing opportunity that we have as agents could change and could save people's life, you will not stop talking about it.
Yep.
I wake up in the morning and I feel really bad. Sometimes I'm at a restaurant and my husband is like, not now. And I'm like, I have to tell the owner. I need to tell the employees. Will you please give me the opportunity? My husband is like, okay, go. Just one more time. Don't do this to me next time. But of course, I don't hear him. And then I come back and I say, I spoke to the owner and I can come back tomorrow and I could sit down and tell the employees. They have 56 employees. They have 72 employees. I want to get to know them.
Help all of them.
I want to help these families.
Yeah, and that's the thing about living benefits, right? It's something that, it's a kind of life insurance, we call it the new kind of life insurance, so you don't have to die to use, but it literally is something that can help everyone. Usually there's different solutions in our industry, and some are better for small business owners, or some are better for high net worth people, some are better for these or that. But living benefits is really this kind of ubiquitous, everyone needs living benefits, right?
Everyone. And there's so many auctions, and you could play with the auctions, and you could give the customers, if they have a small budget, then we have different terms. We have 10 years, we have 15 years, we have 20 years, we have 30 years, we have different amounts.
Permanent.
Right? And you kind of sit with a customer and ask them, and if they don't have a lot of money and they can only spend $35, then you accommodate the years and you accommodate the amounts. And trust me, they're going to feel like you really did the best to help them. I do my hair, And if I'm sitting next to someone, I'm like, hi, how are you? And I start a conversation. And here I have my apps. There's so many good things about the new word. Everything has evolved. So easy for us agents. And
to always have your quoting engine right there on your phone.
And I quote, and I start talking. I go to the dentist, and if I'm waiting outside, and I try to make a conversation to see, and if I'm sitting next to a lady, and I'm having a talk with her, and I do not tell her what I do for a living, I fail. I fail to God. I fail to myself. I fail to her and to her family.
We're kind of getting into this subject that I was going to talk about, which is if I were to try to tell somebody what makes Drialys so successful, how is she here at the top of our leaderboards? What is her secret to her success? I would say that it's you're always on. You have a true passion for what you do, a true passion for living benefits, and you are constantly sharing that passion. We've already talked, about this a little bit. I was talking to your husband, Tony, at one of our events the other day. He told me a story about how he spent an hour circling the block at a restaurant that you were just supposed to go into to see if there was a table available. And he was circling the block for an hour, and you came out with 2 clients that you had just written a policy for. This is the kind of thing that you do. You were just telling me a story before, how before we started recording this, you have apps in your purse right now.
I do.
You are always ready to go. You're ready to write.
I want to say it the right way. When you go to school, when you're little, they teach you the body has 3 parts, right? Head. Say it in English. I don't want to make mistakes.
You got your head, you got your trunk, and then you have your
extremities.
Your extremities.
Right? Lower extremities, upper extremities.
Right.
But my body doesn't have 3 parts. It has 4. And they are head, trunk, extremities, and what I'm going to show you now. And
the other part that is constantly permanently attached.
This was not really prepared. This is my life.
There they are.
Sorry, they don't look that well, but trust me, they hold all the information that I need.
Your pre-application. It says Univista right on top, and you can pull that out at any point. Wherever you are.
Any plane, any restaurant, any hair salon, any nail salon.
Let's get a close-up of that here. Check it out. She's not kidding here.
Nope.
The true pre-application. She can get a client's information at the drop of a hat. And you literally did that yesterday in the airport on the way up here.
I did.
To film this with us.
And I could prove it too. I have the one that is reading.
She was showing me missed calls from clients at 11 p.m.
Oh, I think I left
people she has to get in touch with. You're always on. You're always, always, always sharing.
I won't show the name.
Yeah.
But as you could see, my handwriting, like not really having where to write, but I wrote everything I needed for the customer to submit it, and we're submitting it.
$254 monthly premium, right?
$259.78.
$259.78. Wrote last night at the airport.
Yes.
It's unbelievable. And that really is, again, going back to kind of the secret to your success. What makes Drialys Muñoz a top producer? It's that you have this passion for what you do, and you cannot help but compulsively share it with everyone that you come into contact with.
I have this love that comes from the experience that I've had seen from the clients that we have helped. I have seen the videos of these families that we have helped. And I believe in what I talk about it. When you believe, when you have the passion because you actually have life insurance for yourself and you feel secure and you feel that your family is secure. And you want everybody to have this happiness and this security as well. And I honestly thank God for this amazing opportunity that He's given me of meeting the beautiful, amazing life of Alliance.
Well,
life insurance.
We're very glad you came into our lives as well. It's, to talk to me a little bit about, I know that many of the people that you talk to, maybe it's their first life insurance policy. Do you find yourself rewriting a lot of people's current coverage to include living benefits? Would you say that that's a big part of what you do? Or is it more writing people's first policies for them?
Well, sometimes they did not even know that there is something like living benefits.
Most of the time, yeah. Most of the clients you talk to, I'm sure.
And
have
I
never
talk
heard
to
of
them,
living
I say,
benefits.
and the few that has the life insurance, they're like, oh no, I don't have living benefits. And I said, okay, if we have, if you're gonna buy a car, and this is a story that someone that I love very much taught me, and that's our Belkis.
Oh, we love Belkis.
If we're gonna buy a car and we have oh my God, I forgot that word. Airbags.
Airbags, yes.
The airbags. And they show you another car without the airbags. And they cost the same. What are you going to buy?
Why would you buy a car without airbags if they come for free?
And that's exactly what I asked them.
Yep.
I said, tell me, if you have the opportunity of buying a car, will you buy it without the airbags? No, because you want more protection.
Right.
You want
Airbags
more
didn't exist
protection.
back in the 70s,
No, they
right?
did not exist.
Right.
Everything evolves. The phones, the TV, and also the life insurance. And the dinosaurs that we used to have, now we have them really taken care with the living benefits. Yep. I love the living benefits. It's the solution to so many people that also don't believe, if I die, the money's just for when I die.
Yeah, so actually, let's talk about that a little bit. You work a lot with the Spanish-speaking community,
Yes.
and this is I've heard this from you. I've heard this from other agents that work in that demographic and with that community. They have a little thing about life insurance and about death, right? It's kind of like a taboo subject. You don't want to talk about death, and if you talk about life insurance, you're talking about dying, and that might bring it on. Somehow bad juju, sort of thing. So talk about how you deal with that and how you overcome that kind of very specific challenge within the Spanish speaking community about talking to them about life insurance.
Spanish speaker community, not all of them, but many of them, we are superstitious.
Yeah.
So when we talk about death and see the skulls, you don't see a lot of, well, maybe if they're from Mexico because they have but I'm saying about the other countries.
Right.
Talking about death and the skulls and the life insurance, all that, it's bringing the energies of death to you or your family, so you should not talk about it.
Right.
And what I tell them now that I have the opportunity, you guys have actually saved my life. Living benefits. We try to avoid but talking about that death that they don't like to hear about it. But I also tell them, you have the whole package. It's like if you buy a combo and you got the hamburger and then you get the fries and the drink included.
Right.
So it's so much easier for me when we talk about living benefits because I concentrate all my energy talking about chronic, critical, terminal illness. What would happen if you cannot provide for your family? If you as a captain cannot do it for a little bit and you want to concentrate all your energies in staying here, in getting cured, because the best money, the best thing that you could leave to your family is being here for them.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's something that I am very grateful to as well, because I've always said this. I've said this many times. If we weren't talking about living benefits at Alliance Group, I don't think I would be in this line of work because I just can't. I did it before. Right. I don't want to talk about death. I don't want to say, what if you die? What if you die? Your family would be totally, they would, their financial futures would be ruined and that would be your fault. And you need to buy life insurance. It's responsible. I can't find a passion for that. So living benefits gives us the opportunity to talk about hope, to talk about surviving something. Yes, something bad's still happening, but surviving it.
That's what I do. When I talk about all the beautiful things about the living benefits, at the end I say, and yes, we also have the death benefits. We don't want to talk about it. But just, if something happens, then you leave, a very nice amount of money to your kids or to your husband or to your wife.
Right.
And, and some Spanish people, guys especially, they say, I don't want to hear about life insurance. What happens if I die and then my wife gets the money? She's going to buy a nice car. She's going to go out with other people. She's going to travel with my money.
Well, the thing that I really like about living benefits, it also gives us the opportunity. Life insurance used to be the most selfless thing you could do for your family, because you were contractually guaranteed that if you buy this life insurance policy, you will never see a dime of it, right? Because if anyone sees a dime of it, that means that you died.
It's the love letter that you leave for the ones you love, but you're never going to read it. Well, you're actually writing it in your heart, writing it in a policy, but you're never going to read it.
You're never going to read it out loud to them,
It's the expression of love. I think it's the highest expression of love, actually.
Yeah, I agree.
To think of others when you're not here and you cannot provide for that. I don't think my spirit, I don't know if we could talk about spirits, sure. could rest in peace if I leave the world unexpectedly. Not knowing from one day to another, and I don't leave the way prepared for the people that I love.
Right. And living benefits gives us that opportunity to say, look, this is for your family. You are checking that box. You are doing that thing that any responsible and loving parent would do, or husband or wife, and you are checking that box. But also, this policy could benefit you in a huge way. If you're to get a cancer diagnosis and you survive, this is going to give you potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you'll have the money to take all the time off work you need without rushing back to work, to pay for the very best treatments without worrying about what medical, your health insurance won't cover.
Without selling your house.
Right, without losing your house.
How many people, right? When they get sick, they have to sell their home? How sad that can be. Not only you're sick and you're afraid that you're going to die, but then you cannot afford to make payments for your mortgage. I mean, I talk about it and I cannot stop getting the goosebumps.
I see them, actually.
You know that you cannot get this unless you really talk from your heart.
Yeah.
And I just think of people that I know that they've been through something so difficult that have changed their life, and they had lost their home because the captain of the house or the wife, the single mom, couldn't provide, and she wants to get better. She wants to leave. She wants to be there for her kids. And mortgage is not important. And the doctor's bills, are not important. And 70% of the people that go bankruptcy, it's because they're medical bills.
Yep.
And 50% of them had health insurance.
Had a health insurance in place, and it did not stop them from going bankrupt.
Exactly.
Right?
So why not be prepared? Why not take a little piece of what we make and leave it there for our peace of mind?
Yeah, absolutely.
And for the protection of our loved one, our families.
Yeah. It's something that I've actually talked about many times before. It's 100% true. I was a living benefits client before I even got in with Alliance Group. In my old job, Peter Goldfein, who actually is at Alliance Group, he sold me my very first policy.
You're lucky.
Yeah, I know, right? He actually
very lucky.
He educated me about them. I bought it, and little did I know that I'd be getting into this whole career just a couple years later. But every time that I see something bad happen, if I see someone that got diagnosed with cancer or a heart attack, or I'm driving home from work and I see an accident on the side of the road, I can't help but think about, I really do this. I think about my living benefits policy, and then there's just that brief moment of, thank goodness I have that, so that if something like that happened to me or to my family, I would have that. And it really is that kind of, we use the term peace of mind a lot in life insurance, and sometimes people will be like, what is peace of mind? But it truly is nice to know that you have that set up for yourself, so that, God forbid, if the worst thing happens, you're going to have a place to go. You're going to have, at least money won't be a part of that problem. Right?
And a lot of people think this is not true. And when you talk about it, and they say, oh, the life insurance company, they go bankruptcy. And I say, no. And I'm going to explain to you why not. One of the reasons, there's many. But let's say that we pay to one of our clients that is in need $500,000. You know how many other people that never believe come to us after?
Yep.
It's an average of 13, 14 people.
Everyone they know.
That when the families receive $1 million because they were insured and they went through this event, this illness, and we pay, then the friends and the family members, I don't know if you call them some Thomas, the ones that do not believe.
Sure.
And those come to us and say, I want to have what they have. I want to be protected.
Yep.
And that's why this is a company that help others. We pay. We really pay.
Yep.
Last year, in one of our companies, we pay in Alliance have many that are all beautiful, but in the case of this one, we pay $3 billion in 2021 in one of our companies with living benefits.
Yep.
In claims.
$3 billion in claims paid. Yep.
It's amazing, and it's real.
It is real. And I think a lot of people have that, that general distrust of insurance companies. And I think that life insurance companies sometimes kind of get lumped in with all the frustrations people have had trying to get a car insurance claim paid, or, the worst example for me is home warranty policies, where it's almost like this exists and they'll try to find any way to get out of paying a claim. And I think life insurance companies get lumped into that frustration that people have at insurance companies sometimes based on a bad, experience they had with some other type of insurance. But life insurance, I always try to tell my clients is, listen, guys, life insurance is a promise from this company. If they don't pay their claims, they will not be in business. That is what the whole thing is staked upon. As long as you have a top-rated company, which I know that you and Alliance Group, we only work with top-rated companies, they will pay that claim. They have no option other not to, or they wouldn't be in business very long. Certainly not hundreds of years like some of these companies have been.
And it's our responsibility as agents to explain very well the benefits. There's people that I meet and they come from other life insurance companies where they say, Drialys, I was paying that insurance for 20 years and nothing happens to me and I did not get the money back. And I said, do you had a good agent that explained to you that there is different kind of policies, and there's what is a term insurance policy? It's a 10, 15, 20, 30 years, and there's permanent insurance where you also can accumulate money, make your money grow, and you get all the other benefits plus the growing of the money. Right. But that's why our responsibility is make sure that we give our people, our clients that become our friends, our family, all these explanations. So
it's an education process.
It's education. Sometimes I talk on radio or I go to TV programs and I say, call me. Even if you don't want to buy a policy, call me if you have doubts. I like the students that raise their hand and ask. Yeah. Because those are the ones that pass the test with 100.
It's very true.
And I'm here to help. Sometimes they just call me and say, I want to find out. And maybe they don't buy it there, but then 3 months later, 6 months later, they come in and say, remember I talked to you and you answer all these questions and I didn't buy it, but now I'm ready.
Yeah.
So don't lose the hope as an agent.
We have talked a little bit about how you're always on. You're always prospecting. You're always looking for people to talk to and to share this miracle of living benefits with. You have found a couple of very interesting ways to market. I want something, a little content for some of the agents that are wondering, how does she find all these people to talk to? Here's just one example. Talk to me about karaoke.
Karaoke night. I love to sing. Everybody that knows me knows that I like to sing.
Oh, yes. We have definitely witnessed that in Aruba last year. We saw you sing a couple of times.
She's made really sure everybody remembers me for my singing. Or my dancing, but singing.
So how have you used karaoke as a prospecting tool?
Well, I went to a restaurant where they had a karaoke night, and it was pretty settled, very nice. They do karaoke. Everybody was, like a nice crowd. Then I went to the owner of the restaurant. I said, listen, I have a great idea. What about if I come here and I just take charge of this karaoke?
So it was kind of dead, right? It was kind of like quiet and calm, and you were like, we need to spice this up.
Let's spice this place up. Let's bring some money and give them prizes, for the person that the people clap the most. And then I would like to sponsor this night, and then we created like one of those banners with my picture and my phone. It's very inexpensive.
Yeah.
People think, oh, no, just look. Any company, any banners. You send your picture, you send your information. You got a banner in the back.
It's basic marketing. Throw a banner up with your face.
That's right.
Karaoke night hosted by Drialys Muñoz.
Karaoke night. And then I got there and I gave everybody cards around. I went through every table. And then every time I would go out to sing, or whenever I was going to give the prize for the people that make it to the end, I would also do my little plug. And remember, we have the living benefits. Do you know what living benefits are? And then throw a little bit of life insurance and other insurance that I also have in my company. And people were interesting and they were calling my number the very next day. I do karaoke on Thursdays, and Fridays is a busy day for me. I love Fridays. I have like 4, 5, 6 customers that heard me singing, but also heard me talking about living benefits, and they call me. I want to know a little bit about that. What was that? Do they pay me? Well, I don't have to die to get the money. And then they call me just to ask, and I tell them, call me. I want to say hi to you. Today, we're singing and having fun, but tomorrow, call me.
Oh, that's excellent. So you basically worked out a way where you could do something that you already love to do. You love to do karaoke. You're like, I'm going to be here anyway. So let's work out a sponsorship. I'll run this. I'll have you have prizes. You give away first, second, and third place for the best performers and these different awards. And then you just take one opportunity while you have a microphone in your hand in front of a captive audience to plug living benefits. Let's not talk about it today, but here's a little information. Tomorrow, give me a call. And
sometimes I'm driving, and I feel like I miss Toys R Us so much. And I feel like
I do too.
I'm in a city, like Toys R Us when I used to go with my little girl, and I like the toys so much because I didn't have them growing up. So I looked at the business and I'm like, Toys R Us. This is a business. This is a Colombian restaurant, and here we have a Cuban little, restaurant too, and we have a hair salon, and we have a dry cleaner, and I see him like, oh my God, I have to park. And then I park, and I go out to do these walks in like one time a week, 2 times a week. I get dressed, and nothing wrong with people that sell candy, but if you're going to sell life insurance with living benefits, dress like if you're doing for them a miracle. Like you're selling and you're giving them a life change. So I dress with my high heels and my, briefcase, and I go there and I ask for the honors. And I see the gatekeeper, and I usually buy little, the money tree. They're really inexpensive if you buy them little. And then I have them in the back of my car.
Money tree?
Money tree.
What is that?
I have to give you a money tree.
I want a money tree. I've always wanted one.
You need to have one in your office, and you need to have one in your house. And they say that they bring,
so it's an actual plant.
It is a real plant.
Gotcha.
Who doesn't like plants?
Everyone
right?
likes plants.
And if they tell you that it brings money to you, you're gonna love that money tree.
That's perfect. A little giveaway. You drop in. You drop off this nice plant.
And I say, I'm working in this area, and I do great things for the employees, and I have great things to tell you, but I would like to speak to your manager. I would like to speak to the owner. Do you think I could get to them? Of course, I already gave that gatekeeper the little money tree, so she I start becoming her friend.
Yep.
And it's, you got to treat them with respect. The gatekeeper, that's a word that a lot of agents don't know.
Yep.
Some people actually mistreat them. And so they don't know that gatekeeper could be the wife of the owner or the daughter of the owner. So please treat everybody with love and decency.
Even if they're not the wife of the owner or the husband of the owner, they're at least the person that can let you have access to the decision maker or deny you access.
A very humble employee that could open the doors for you, and that you don't know what you're going to find in that company. I had done that. I have found companies that have 72 employees. And I tell them, when I get to meet the owner, I explain everything and I say, I'll come the day that you tell me, and I promise I won't bother you. If it's a restaurant, I will sit in a table. I wait one by one. They come and talk to me 15, 20 minutes when they're not that busy. And I'll stay the whole day here. I leave the restaurant with 20-something new policies.
Right, because other people come up and talk to you, or you strike up conversations with other people.
And when I talk to them, they have husbands and they have wives and they have kids. And I talk to them about the growing accounts that they could have for the kids. There's so much to talk.
It's really, you have the gift. You have the
never,
gift of gab.
Remember, you talk about term insurance. You talk about permanent insurance. You talk about university accounts for the kids, retirement accounts. You talk about growing your money. You talk about how much you will save not paying taxes. And there's so many good things about life insurance with living benefits that I don't know how an agent can get to a place, meet anyone, and don't tell them about these wonderful things.
It's it seems like it all comes down to having a true passion. You can't fake passion, right?
You can't.
You have to have a true passion for what it is that you do and the solutions that you can provide, and then you have to be obsessive about getting those solutions into everyone that you talk to is a prospect, even if it's someone who isn't insurable, an 80-year-old grandmother who you wouldn't be able to get a policy for.
There is a solution. Trust me.
There is a solution. If not for her, then for her daughter or her grandson. Right?
Absolutely, but there is also final expenses.
Of course.
I love everyone. Grandmothers and grandparents, and there's solutions for their grandkids.
Absolutely.
I sold 2 policies to a couple that were like, I'm always getting to my grandkids' house and I give them toys and I see them all over. And I say, why don't you buy something for them that will make a really good difference in their life? Yep. Why don't we make for them an account that you will be able... Listen, I did this with my dad.
Yeah.
My dad, you want to give the kids money. And you want to give
they don't need more toys. They don't need,
They don't know what that is.
They've got more toys than they know what to do with.
Exactly. Do something that they will remember you as that great grandpa, that great grandmother that thought of their future.
Yeah.
It like I said,
I love that.
There's so many things about this beautiful, amazing job. I don't call it a job. Mm-hmm. What do? We have fun.
Yeah.
That there's no excuses of why not to do it the way you should do it.
Yeah.
No excuses.
No excuses whatsoever. So we've covered a lot of my questions that we had. What is your advice? And we can just, what is your advice to someone who's either new to the industry or they're thinking about getting into life insurance? What would be your number one piece of advice for that agent who wants to discover the kind of success and the kind of personal fulfillment and professional fulfillment that you experience every day? What would be your number one piece of advice?
First of all, don't be afraid. Don't lose faith. Don't lose faith. Don't feel bad because someone tell you, I don't want the policy. Try again. Try one more time. Read books, get all the information, read so you could explain better. When you have more knowledge, then they ask you questions and you could go around because you have the answers. Don't give up. Have a plan. Have different plans, ways of getting to what you want to get. Have goals. I have weekly goals. I want to make in premiums this much. And if I don't do it, my God, I don't know. I feel like I'm having something in my body that is itching because I did not try hard enough, because I did not put my efforts, because I did not give 150% of my passion. There's people, there's customers, there's opportunities.
Everywhere you look.
Everywhere you look, just keep on doing it and don't get discouraged. I promise. I got through out of places. People look down on me, after being an air personality and being an owner of a doctor's office. When I started doing the life insurance, word, people just don't know who you are.
Right. How did you end up in life insurance? They have a way of kind of looking.
And sometimes they don't even believe. When you start, let's say that if you are a mechanic and you decided to give a very good turn to your life and say, I don't want to fix cars anymore. I want to fix people's life. And I want to try this living benefits and I think I got the power to do it.
Yeah.
In that transition of when you were a mechanic and to when you are a life insurance professional, at the beginning, people don't believe in you. So you have to keep on doing it. Use the social media. We have, oh my goodness, we have social media. We have Instagram,
you do an amazing
Facebook,
job on social media, by the way.
And it's free. I don't want to hear excuses. It's free. You could just learn the basis and promote yourself. And if you don't want to talk, then just put like images and write. And my goodness, I remember, and I think I was telling the other day, the first time they threw me out of a restaurant, I said, oh my goodness, nobody ever treated me so bad. And if he only knew that I am a good person, if he only knew that I'm not, because they mistreat you sometimes.
Yeah. And, you know, the thing I'm hearing is that it's not all been success. It's not been easy for you.
No, it has not been.
Doing this karaoke thing, you did all this and you experienced all the success after being thrown out of a restaurant. And it must have been so easy for you to maybe, it must have been tempting to say, oh, I'm never going to do that again. I got thrown out. I must be doing something wrong. That was embarrassing. That didn't feel good. But you did it again.
But you need the growing pains. As an agent, as a person, as a human being, in anything, in a relationship, in a profession, you need the growing pains. Nobody gets to be a successful person if it doesn't go to those pains. Because through them, you learn. And you learn to be stronger. And if you have to cry, then cry. And it's fine. But don't stop waking up next day and saying, the song is out. And there's a new opportunity for me. And I will change somebody's life today.
Get back on the horse.
And God is going to be on my side. And I'm going to give 100, 200%. And I'm going to put my heart and I'm going to help someone. Just remember, don't think about the commission. People could read when you're desperate about closing the policy because you want to get a commission.
Yep.
Even when I had no money, I was just wanting to help the people. And when you think of helping a client and you really mean it, they also feel it.
Yep. I've actually had this described to me before when a successful agent who has become successful, they'll describe this phenomenon where it's like, you know, before when you only have a few clients and you're really desperate to get those sales, the clients can actually pick up on that and they can feel you trying to accelerate and, hey, let's hurry up and get this done. And when you actually become so busy that you don't mind, I don't need this sale because I've got 5 others, so let's just move you along. It actually helps you because you don't come across as someone who needs this case and wants you to close it fast. It actually helps you because once you become a certain amount of busy, you're not in a rush. And that actually helps you sell more policies because you're not coming across as desperate.
And I have a very good advice for my fellow agents. Don't be annoying.
That's just general good life advice.
Don't be annoying. I probably have her saved. My first life insurance, I have her as a very annoying agent. I was 30.
In your phone? I wonder what I'm in your phone as.
I was 31 years old. Did not have an idea of what the life insurance was. And then I had somebody in the family that passed away, and everybody got really scared because he was young and full of life. And something happened, and he left a little girl, and everybody got scared. And we all started getting life insurance. So we get this lady, I don't know from where, because nobody ever talked to me about life insurance. I had no idea something like that existed, and I was 31 years old. And so she came to the house and sold the insurance for me, and I understood. I wasn't really passionate about it. I was like, I have to do this just because I have to do this, because when she left, she just left an empty, like, did I do this right? I wasn't even convinced, But what happened the very next day was horrible. She started calling me, do you have any referrals? I know you know a lot of people. Can you give me 3 or 4 people? And then I gave her 3 people. And then 4 days later, she called me, oh, Drialys, you're so wonderful. I think, can I go to your job? And I said, wait a second. Something is really wrong right now. This person is taking over my life. First of all, she wanted me to buy the policy, just sell me the policy, just let me just buy the policy. She didn't come across as I want to help you.
Right. She wasn't concerned about you.
She wasn't really concerned about helping my family. She was concerned about closing her deal. And that's how she came across. And she did not make an impact in my life.
That is something that I hear from top producers. It's one of those things that you hear over and over and over. There's a few things that I hear from top producers. One of them I always bring up is talk less, right? Talk less, let the client speak, let them listen more. Talk less, listen more. That's one thing I always hear. The other thing is exactly what you were describing, which is stop thinking about closing the case, stop thinking about the sale, and focus on helping, and framing everything that you do as you helping them and how this is going to help them. And, if you do that rather than, focus on a product or about a sale or, then you're going to be a lot better off. Making it about them.
They actually need you.
Right.
If you make them understand that you're there to save their life, to change their history.
Right.
That you are that IV that you may need and you have put aside for a moment.
Yeah. That
could be any moment. Just be that kind person that understands if someone doesn't have the money to do something bigger, just accommodate the client. Some people really don't have more than $40. Right. $10 a week to spend in a life policy. Then just look for the best auctions.
Right.
Don't just think, oh, I'm going to sell this because this client's going to give me, is going to buy a bigger one. Treat the clients the same. If they buy you a $20 policy or if they buy you a $1,000 premium policy, treat them the same. And trust me, you're going to get so many referrals. Maybe sometimes I get more referrals from a little policy that I sold that for a big policy, because that person that thought that they could never, sometimes they tell me, I thought this was for rich people. I'm like, what do you mean for rich people? A life insurance is only for rich people? No, come here. Let's calculate.
Step into my karaoke bar.
Come into my karaoke bar and let's calculate $100,000 in your each, and let me do one for your kids and $25 only. Can you save $25 for your kids? Your little baby, 2 years old.
Yeah.
And they're so appreciated. They're like, wow, I did something great with my life. Thank you, Drialys. And they send me people. The most humble people are the ones that are going to surprise you. Don't ever doubt that.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Drialys, thank you so much for joining us for this edition of the Alliance Group podcast. It's been awesome. You are a fantastic friend to Alliance Group. We really appreciate you doing this for us. And I'm sure all the agents that are watching as well really appreciate getting to know you, getting to know your business a little bit better.
I feel humble and appreciate it. And thank you for this beautiful invite. We have a beautiful family in Alliance. When I met you, I was like, I hope I get to know them a little better. And God listened to me. So I saw you on the stage and giving those awards and these amazing people, so happy. And going to that convention in Aruba was like, wow, I want to be like those people. I want to go up stage. And
you did.
And I did for the first time. But I was like, wow, what an amazing family we have. And I asked God, please, God, one day I want to meet Lee, and I want to meet the family, and I want to meet all of them just a little bit. And this that you're doing, it's amazing for the agents, for the clients, for the people that were real people that we don't have magic wands, that we don't have anything. The only thing that makes us different is that we have passion. Passion is my middle name. Passion for what you do. Yep. Gotta love what you do. And the rest is history.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Drialys. Together we're better, as we like to say. And, we saw you in Aruba. We'll see you in Marco Island here in about a month or so, too.
Can't wait. And I almost qualify for Cabo.
Oh, yeah. Cabo already. I'm sure you're already qualified for Cabo.
I think I'm already qualified.
Thanks so much again.
Thank you.